As a real estate agent, property manager, and investor in Baltimore City, one thing that I really like to do for my database is to educate, which is why I have this YouTube channel, as well as I send out an email campaign every week to my database to give them little tidbits of information that would be relevant to them in their investing journey in Baltimore City. And if you want to join that list, comment down below and I will add you. It's not spam, but it's really just information that you need to know, especially if you are not deep in the trenches of the Baltimore City real estate market like I am. But my point of saying that is to say that last week, I sent out an email campaign about the TIF program in Baltimore City, and I've got a lot of replies to that email asking for more information. And so I thought, well, if so many people in my database had questions about the TIF program, then maybe my friends on YouTube had some questions as well. So I wanted to make this video and really talk about what the TIF affordable housing program in Baltimore City is, who it targets, what kind of properties are eligible, and how an investor can take advantage of this opportunity. So the first thing is, let's talk about what the TIF affordable housing program even is. So TIF is an acronym that stands for Tax Increment Financing, and it's a public tool that allows the City of Baltimore to sell bonds to institutional investors. And this is how they are then able to fund development projects. So the point of the city doing this is to say, okay, we want to get rid of and eradicate our vacant homes in Baltimore City. Currently, there are over 12,000 vacant homes in the city, and this is not good for our city. Okay, how do we do this? Well, we create a citywide TIF program that will then allow us to give money to developers to develop these properties, and then we will then sell those bonds to our institutional investors. And the way that those investors are going to get their money back is because when those properties are developed, the taxes are going to go up, right? And once the taxes go up, that money that we collect from the taxes are then going to pay back our institutional investors. So this type of citywide TIF program is like one of the first in the country to be this thorough and widespread, which is amazing and great for the vacant homes in Baltimore City. And the great thing about it is that it's very unique. Again, it's citywide, so it doesn't have to be a TIF district. It's the whole city of Baltimore. And the program provides up to $150 million in bond proceeds, which are distributed as grants. Grants, not loans, to developers with no requirement for repayment. So what does that mean? That means the city is saying, hey, developers, if you develop a vacant home that is in our TIF district, and these TIF districts are all over the city, we will then give you a grant to develop this property that you don't have to pay us back, because we are banking on getting the money back from the taxes, right? And the grant, the number one thing again is redeveloping vacant buildings. So the question then becomes, if I have a vacant building, or if I go out and get a vacant building, can I then apply for the TIF? Well, it's important to know that there are some caveats to that. First of all, the property has to be in a TIF district, right? So as we know, Baltimore City has row homes. So if you look at the TIF map, the eligibility map, which you can Google, you can type in an address. And on that map, everywhere with the green dot is a TIF eligible property. But I want you to know that even though my house may be in the TIF eligible map, the house immediately to my right or to my left may not be TIF eligible. So the city of Baltimore, they developed this map. They know why. They have their reasons. So not every vacant property is TIF eligible. So you need to make sure that the property that you are either acquiring or that you already have is in the TIF region, right? And the TIF program is specifically designed to close appraisal gaps, which is a big problem in Baltimore City, and that is basically the difference between a project's cost and its market value, which makes it easier for developers to finance projects in areas where property values are low. So the first round of TIF funding is open right now from September 19th to October 3rd. That is not a very large window, but the City of Baltimore Department of Housing said that they had to get this TIF program out right away because of some regulations that they had to abide by. So what does that mean? Okay, so the first round is open right now, and the second round they're projecting to be open early 2026. And right now the funding is, I believe, $15 to $18 million, and $3 million are set aside for small and emerging developers and legacy residents, which is a really great opportunity because the small and emerging developers and the legacy residents are not graded on their project as highly as some of these bigger development companies, which gives some of our residents and our smaller, maybe minority owned firms an opportunity to compete and know that there is a set aside that is directly dedicated to their projects. You may ask yourself, what is a legacy resident? Well, it's very loose, but essentially someone who is either from the city, been living in the city, or grandparents are from the city, and so you want to fix maybe a family home or somebody left you a home and you want to be able to get that property up and running. Now that brings me to the next caveat. These are vacant properties. So there were a lot of questions on the information sessions from some of our legacy residents saying, oh, well, my cousin is living in the house and the house is all torn down, but they're still living there, it's still functionable. Can I get the TIF funding to fix up the house? And the answer to that is no. These are only for vacant properties, and it has to be on that TIF map. Okay, now let's talk about the application process. So the application process is managed by Baltimore City Department of Housing and Community Development, and right now, the application deadline is October 3rd. So you would have to submit a formal application, which includes details about your proposed project. And they're looking for your scope of work. What are you doing to this property? How much is it gonna cost? And they want to see the project's budget, the schedule, the timeline, even some markups if you have it. And this is very important. They are paying this money as a reimbursement. This came up so much. So if you have a project, right, and you need the money for this house, this may not be for you, okay? Because they're going to pay you back. And they may not pay you back 100% because this is only for the hard construction costs, not for developer fees, not for realtor commission. It's only for the hard construction costs, and it's on a reimbursement basis. So that means you need to have access to capital or access to a financing institution where you're able to get the money to fix this project up and then apply for the funding in the hopes of being reimbursed. So they're not paying you in advance, or they're not paying for the project. They are paying as a reimbursement. That's very important. So I hope this was helpful. Again, the first round is October 3rd. That's the deadline. I really wanted to find a property that was TIF eligible before the deadline, but unfortunately, I just didn't have enough time to get a property, get it under contract, and then also secure financing and all of that stuff before the deadline. So I am hoping that I will be ready at the next go around, because you know, you have to find a property that's TIF eligible on the map, but then you also have to look at the area as well, and ensure that you do your due diligence. So I am going to do a video about some places that small and emerging developers can find funding and financing for their projects. So if you're interested in that, please make sure to subscribe, comment, and let me know that you would be interested in that. And if you have any questions about the TIF affordable housing program in Baltimore City and how that fits under the Reframe Baltimore initiative, I'd be happy to answer those questions. And I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and please make sure to subscribe.